This is daily vlog number 203. I apologize if you can hear the fan going in the background. These lights make this room an easy bake oven, and I kind of got tired of sweating. What were you doing 10 years ago? Think back. How much has your life changed? The thing is, everything changes. In fact, one of my favorite lines from a Rush song is, "Changes aren't permanent, but change is." Today I've been kind of reflecting a lot on where I was 10 years ago. You see, 10 years ago today, my mom passed away. I'm not saying this to garner any sympathies. I'm just using it to illustrate a point. I was working as a research analyst for an IT consulting firm, writing reports on network and enterprise management software. If you haven't fallen asleep just listening to that, you're in the minority. My dream of becoming a pastor was still just that, a dream. I had not taken really any steps in that direction. But then on July 22nd, 2004, my mom passed away. Some say she lost her battle with cancer. I like to say she won it, because it can't do anything to her anymore. I guess her death was like the kickoff point for this new chapter, heck, this new volume in my life. Because a few months later, I was laid off, and that's when I felt God was saying, go. So I entered seminary and became a pastor and bought a camera, and the rest is history. So as I think about the changes in my life over the past 10 years, I also think about the changes in myself. Now, would all of those changes have occurred if my mom lived? I'll never know that. But what I do know is I'm pretty happy with who I am today. And I wasn't 10 years ago. That's my favorite change. What has changed for you in the past 10 years? And how have you handled those changes? I remember being a kid and worrying about the future. I remember being 13 years old and completely insecure, terrified of what life was going to be like when I was in high school. And so I would think to myself, well, I'll just let 17-year-old me handle it. And that actually gave me a little bit of comfort, because I could just look out to the future and see myself at 17 being awesome and handling all of the changes that came about. And when I was 17, I worried about college and life after college, but I entrusted it to my 21-year-old self. He'll take care of it. And when I was 21, I entrusted my future to my 30-year-old self, because I figured at 30 I'd have all this stuff figured out and everything would be fine. And you know, that actually helped me. It helped me as I grew up, because when I was 17, I remembered the trust that I put in me as a 13-year-old. And when I was 21, I remembered the trust I put in me as a 17-year-old. And I looked back at my younger selves and I said, don't worry, guys. I got you. But somewhere along the way to my 30s, I started trusting God. And I started finding out that I didn't have all the strength that I needed. But He more than made up for it. At 32, when my mom died, I didn't look to my older self. I looked to God. And I said, thank you for bringing me through this. So that was the biggest change for me. I stopped trusting in my own strength entirely. And I started trusting in God a whole lot more. That was actually my favorite change. So what about you? How has your life changed in the past 10 years? And how have you been handling it? Let me know in the comments below. Or if you don't feel like making it public, just send me a private message. I don't know what the next decade holds, but I'm not worried at all. My future's in good hands. And so's yours. This has been Daily Vlog number 203. 162 to go. I'll talk to you tomorrow.